Hey, welcome to Mullen Stock. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications by hitting the bell so you never miss any of our uploads. And also remember that this is not a financial advice video. Today I would like to talk to you about Mullen. I want to discuss some data points on how shorts work and everything else you should know. And with that, let's get straight to the point. Today it dropped by 7.6%, and the trading volume was quite low, with only 23.21 million shares traded compared to the average of 68 million. This isn't good news, not just for Mullen, but for stocks in general. It indicates a lack of liquidity, which is not a positive sign. However, there is a silver lining in this. The risk of dilution is lower. Typically, when stocks like Mullen decline for consecutive days, people start speculating about dilution. If today volume had reached 150 million, I would have said that dilution might be happening. But with this low volume, I believe the chances of dilution today are low. There wasn't any significant news today, and there were no SEC filings. Consequently, there was a lot of sluggishness without news. The only thing I can update you on is that Mullen has come out with IRS news indicating that they qualify for a tax credit. This means they will receive either $7,500 or $40,000, depending on the weight of their car. So yes, I understand that this is quite a positive sign. However, I must admit it feels somewhat disheartening to have to say that this is genuinely good news. Additionally, many people have been questioning why the volume is so low and why no one is buying Mullen, especially after EPA approval, which was somewhat of a rubber stamp. However, institutions are holding on to Mullen, as you can see. Therefore, many institutions prefer to wait for better prices before they can be guaranteed revenue. Because even at this stage, despite the EPA rubber stamp, Mullen is generally considered quite risky for many institutions. Nevertheless, this is just a note. There's another thing worth noting. Upon closer examination of the tape, there were two transactions below code 795, both of which were done through RBC. There were two transactions, one for $200,000 and the other for $500,000. Now Mullen stock price typically hovered around 55 cents, but the transaction through RBC was at 51 cents. Suggesting a desire to sell. However, these transactions didn't show any particularly abnormal elements, making it challenging to determine whether they were buying or selling transactions. So who knows, is RBC adding to Mullen or holding onto it? Dump Mullen, we just have to wait and see what happens at the end of the quarter based on the 13F. But no matter what, even though the volume is a bit low, I hope there will be an increase by the end of this week. Especially keep in mind that many institutions and ETF rebalance their portfolios by the end of the quarter, and this is the last week of Q3, so it's worth remembering. I still believe the tour is ongoing, and I found it a bit strange that Mullen is still maintaining PR and such things, so there are some interesting things with it. Starting with data points, $63,000 worth of calls were purchased in options, while there were $27,000 worth of inputs, so in terms of dollar value, it was quite low. Like today overall volume, but it seems that people are feeling a bit optimistic about it. As you can understand, and perhaps are already aware, there is hope that stock prices can rise. If you look at some calls that are currently set for this upcoming Friday, which is September 29th, with a strike price of 50 cents, there is approximately 6,000 open interests. So if Mullen closes above the 50-cent mark by the end of this Friday, market makers will start covering those shares. However, when it comes to shorts, let me tell you what they've been up to because they're still a bit messed up. Here the story shorts have a score of 79. Utilization is at 84.15%. And today, shorts surprisingly returned 289,000 shares. Shorts are at 19.16% of the free float, and a total of 33.38 million shares are shorted. The average cost to borrow is 22.57%. How this information should be analyzed with regards to Mullen is this. In Mullen case, many people are fearful, and they have no intention of buying any themselves. It also suggests that they believe today downtrend was a bit excessive and perhaps unwarranted, but that's just my own understanding. Availability indicates that there are approximately 3.5 million shares in the market that can be used to increase short positions if desired. This could be something to watch out for, especially with the GDP report set to be released on Thursday. I believe the market may tread cautiously when it comes to their power. So there are 3.5 million shares available for them to utilize. Remember, from a technical analysis perspective, that 50-cent mark seems to act as a sort of safety net for Mullen. So shorts are aware that if they can bring Mullen below that 50-cent mark, according to this theory, technicals might break down, and the market could decline rapidly. This could be something they plan to do tomorrow. You'll just have to wait and see, especially if today continues to exhibit a low-volume trend. As of today, approximately 72.89% of the volume was redirected from exchanges, and it seems that about 52.69% of the overall volume was attributed to shorts. So shorts seem to have a significant influence on mullen, and it's unfortunate how this situation is developing. We have some pretty good operational updates, but until investors know exactly how many vehicles are being produced, it will remain in limbo. For example, let's say only 10 vehicles have been produced. If only 10 vehicles were produced in just 1 month, that's not good news by any means. So we'll have to wait and see production levels and check whether it aligns with what David signaled in the second interview or not. Guys, that's all we have for you today. What is your opinion about mullen stock? Get involved and let us know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.